Hey, mamas and family, welcome to Sip and Share with me, the Sweet Physique. So, as we embark upon this journey with each other, I kind of just wanted to give you guys a little bit of background as to how I got to where I am today. So, at 6.5 months, I was about to say weeks, at 6.5 months, I actually got diagnosed with preeclampsia. I went in for what was a routine ultrasound and stress test for my baby. The ultrasound was so cool. This was the 3D imaging one where I kind of got to see her and like the closest thing to actually being like in my face. She was so beautiful. It was just so cool to see that scan like that. It was literally like the next step to actually seeing my baby in person. Ultrasound went great. She was healthy. Heart rate was beautiful. She was growing. Couldn't be happier. Boom, on to the stress test. So now they hooked me up to the machine. I have the sensors on my belly. I have my blood pressure cuff on. We're ready to go. So the ultrasound tech takes my blood pressure. She's like, it's a little high. So the gold standard for a blood pressure reading is 120/80. Mine was 170s over 90s. And I was like, but I feel fine. This has to be a mistake. And she's like, yeah, no, it's a fluke. I have to go next door to check on my other patient and I'll be right back. I said, okay, cool. So I'm kikiing with my mom in the background. We're just talking. She comes back, boop, runs the machine again. It's flashing. It's like flashing. So I look over and she's like, yeah. It's like her face kind of turns a little worrisome. And she's like, yeah, you're still 170s over 90s. So I'm like, so a little bit about me professionally. I'm a nurse. I work with adults. Not OB, but I do work with adults. And I already know basic management of a blood pressure in general. I know high blood pressures, what it can do to the body, the ramifications it can have if it's untreated. I understand all of that. I'm just now looking at you like, what now do I need to know in regards to my baby? So she's like, she calls the doctor. She's like, hey, we're going to have to take you to triage for further management. Okay. It's the first time in a wheelchair. I'm getting wheeled down the hall. I'm kind of like, I don't even know what to say. Hopefully by the time I get over there, it's going to be fine. They say my blood pressure over there, still high. So at this point now, I've landed a ticket to observation on the OB floor. I'm admitted. I am a patient at this point. I have a wristband. I'm like, what is going on today? I had just got off work. I was supposed to be in and out. And now I'm a patient. So I get to the OB floor. Blood pressure is even higher. Probably a little stress too added on my end because I don't know what's going on. So now it's 190s over 70s. It's just panic mode at this point. So they start me on drips to lower my blood pressure. I received an oral medication. Doctors are rushing into the room trying to get me to sign paperwork in the event that something goes wrong. We ready to go. And now they're telling me about preeclampsia. Yes, I know what preeclampsia is in general. Like I said, I'm a nurse. However, I'm not an OB nurse, so I don't really know specifically the ins and outs of preeclampsia, what all knowledge I should know about it in regards to my baby. So I'm getting thrown all this information. And at this point, it's kind of like a full circle moment. Now the nurse is the patient. And at this moment, I know exactly how my patients have felt all these years when doctors come in with all this information and they're overwhelmed, because I was overwhelmed. And while I have done my best to try to treat all my patients with the utmost respect and compassion, it's still, like I said, it's a full circle moment because now I have firsthand knowledge and experience of what they feel like in that moment. I was scared. I felt helpless. I just felt overwhelmed. It was so much to try to comprehend in a short amount of time. And yeah, it was just a very, very scary experience. So with that being said, I think that I would have felt better in the moment if I would have had some knowledge of preeclampsia outside of just like a basic snippet of what I've been taught in nursing school. And that's why the next segment that I share with you guys is going to be dedicated to preeclampsia, kind of what you should know about it, ins and outs, what to look out for, how to try to stay on top of looking for signs and symptoms and XYZ, because it's not a great place to be in when you feel overwhelmed with information, and especially if you have zero medical background. I can imagine that's even worse. So definitely stay tuned. Next video coming soon. Love y'all.